2 for 2 bounties. 2 for the Radiant, 2 for the Dire Monkeys Forever. In the meantime, push out to tier 1 in the top. And Limp is going to push out the tier 2 in the top lane. TP rotation from Yawar to try and defend this. But, I mean, it's just a pure nuisance. This Timber Saw with 24 stacks, 47 health per second regen. He's going to go for Yule's first item as well. So that is always a nice save mechanic, plus a TP interruption, which the Dire don't really have a lot of. They've got the Malefice, they've got the Black Hole, Mirana Arrow, the Stomp, and that's it. So it does help having another Yule's on your lineup so you can interrupt the TPs. Mirana finished up, but Boots is going to go for a Maelstrom. So it's not going to be the Diffusal Blade build that we sometimes see, which I'm a personal fan of. Resident Evil. I was doing a Chicago typewriter speedish run.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, rip Darksteel.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Mass Serpent Wards in the middle lane by MSS. They're pushing out the tier 1. Yawar in the meantime takes out Monkeys Forever in the top lane and just running away. Miracle cannot really do anything against him, because even if he lands an arrow, he can just easily jump away with Fire Remnant. And that's tier 1 in the middle lane falling. Bottom lane, Limp together with Death pushing out towards Universe, but Universe is going to throw out a nice little defense. It is a net worth advantage for the Dire. It is the experience advantage for the Radiant, and the win percentage is almost dead even between the two teams. I really am curious about Miracle's Mirana. I want to pay close attention to the Southeast Asian players on Complexity's side, which is the Mirana, and the other one is going to be the Enigma. Going for a Black Hole after his Helm of the Dominator pickup. There is a black for the Blink Dagger, sorry. That's something you very rarely see on Enigma. Dire scan, but Universe is like right next to that scan. And the Mirana ulti has been used. Limp's just gonna zone out Universe. And they're gonna push in the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. The Dire are surrounded. This is the very deadly AoE magic damage combo on the Dire side, so you don't really want to fight into them right there. Rezo Yasha. Wondering if he's gonna go for Yasha into Battle Fury, which we sometimes see, or if he's just gonna straight up go for the fighting build, which means that they're not gonna focus on scaling into the late game. They just want to jump them in the early game. Yawar jumping deep for Limp. There's going to be the Mass Serpent Wards. Limp does not connect onto a tree. Monkeys Forever TP's in though. But we have the Elder Titan here. He's going to get the Air Splitter off. Resolution is spinning to kill off Z-Freak. But the Black Hole comes through and it catches Juggernaut. It catches MSS. Both of them are going to lose their lives. SVG and Yawar. Yawar still dealing a lot of magic damage towards the Dire team and jumps away with that. SVG, however, is not going to be so lucky and dies. That's going to be 8 to 7 for Complexity. 3 for 2 on their side in that engagement, and they get a nice chunk of experience and a little bit of gold advantage out of that. That Black Hole absolutely cucked the Juggernaut, and it's going to cuck the Juggernaut probably a couple of times this game. Do you think NA deserves 3 slots? No, but there are very little people that actually think that NA deserves 3 slots. I mean, CIS at the moment looks impressive, really good. I mean, NA have Forward Gaming and EG, but for the other teams like J-Storm feels just they're just not powerful enough yet. Complexity we've barely seen anything of because they almost compete in next to nothing. Southeast Asia region though looks pretty cool. They might deserve the like Southeast Asia and CIS. I love that Mineski's back. Oh, Mineski looks so clean with Ajit on their lineup. And in the CIS region, Na'Vi making it to the major is so impressive. Monkeys Forever is going to get dusted up, so that should be an easy kill for Yawar, and he slowly burns to the grave. And Na'Vi going to the major with... I mean, he is one of my favorite mid laners in the CIS. He is my favorite mid laner in the CIS region, actually. Magical. Tower gets denied by Timbersaw. Dicked on Rezo. There's a scan. Z-Freak is going to get caught. X-Mark, Torrent. And it should be a very easy finish. 9-6, 9-8 at the moment for Forward Gaming. One more kill for first 10 kills. Though the gold advantage lies in the Dire side. Experience, slightly as well. Win percentage, slightly as well. But everyone's net worth is very even amongst each other. The Radiant do have a better late game though. Oh, SVG TP's through. Ghost Ship coming in onto death, and with the jump from Yawar, another easy kill for the Radiant team. Forward Gaming get first 10 kills because they have the more aggressive rotations. MSS in the bottom lane. Is he going to drop? Yuled up by Limp right at the last second just to make sure he dies. He did not want to use Yules, but MSS did not take as much damage as he expected. Happy Chinese New Year to all who are still awake and are from East Asia. Hey, Happy New Year, Chinese New Year to everyone. The has it already started, the Steam, or is it only in Southeast Asia that the Steam Lunar Sale is up? Oh no, it's the Steam Lunar Sale is up, everyone. Buy your shit, everyone. Why won't this Elder Titan play aggressively first 5 minutes of the game? Let's see. He was bottom. They were tri-laning bottom? Yeah, they were tri-laning bottom. The Radiant did not let him get aggressive. That's the problem. Miracle being chased down by Yawar. Does not get the last engagement. Does not want to use his last Fire Remnant as well. Because if he does jump in with his last Fire Remnant, that could be his end. On the side, we have Yawar jumping away. The TP coming through. Monkeys Forever is here. He roots multiple heroes, but... gonna get finished off by Limp. He did not have any more Fire Remnants to get away. He does have his bots finished and the Maelstrom, so he's gonna be very annoying in the split push. I do love it when they build up the bots. He's gonna go for the magic damage build, it seems. He's actually building into Blink Dagger, so more mobility, utility related. And they're gonna just let the right clicks come out from the Juggernaut and the Kunkka with the magic damage. Most likely going for the Ember Spirit. I almost said Timbersaw again. Ember Spirit, Ember Saw, that's it. Fuck, I keep confusing myself.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ghost Ship onto Z-Freak, shackles, just hold him in place. Z-Freak is another one gone. Look at this massive ancient stack, which the Radiant are definitely eyeing up. Tombstone is down. Tombstone to deal with the ancient stack. Whip from Universe. They even dropped the Serpent Wards. This is a massive steal to take. God, this has got to hurt the Dire. Limp is coming in. He wants to at least grab some of the creeps. Please give me something of my ancient stack. Universe could be a nice creep. Limp is going to get hexed up. Is going deeper. Death with the Black Hole connects onto the Shadow Shaman and the Kunkka. They're both dropping low. They both fall. Universe Resolution has already popped his Omni Slash. Yule's up. Stomp. Is it going to connect? It does. Resolution chase down. And does his spin get him out of there? No, it does not. Triple kill coming out for the Die team. That's definitely worth the triples. The whatever the hell that stack was that looked like a freaking 6-man stack. A nice couple of kills coming out for Complexity, destroying the Radiant right there with a great Death Blink Black Hole to capture probably the most important two heroes in a team fight, which are the Kunkka at the moment and the Shadow Shaman. I would say they are the most important because they have the most utility to defend and help out their teammates.
Are fortified.
To spectate the matches without delay, there is pretty much never an option where you can spectate matches without delay. Maybe at TI there are, but otherwise no.
The
Or you need to be friends with like the ESL folks. I mean, you don't really need the fattest of heroes if you just get the perfect black holes every time. Though it is, the Dia are very cooldown related because the black hole, I mean, if it's on a cooldown, it's a big jump right there onto Timbersaw. Earth Splitter coming through from Z-Freak. It's not going to get the effect he desires, and that's 2 kills for the Radiant. It is a slight gold advantage for the Dire, still with an experience advantage behind it. Win percentage 66% on their side. But the Radiant are going to go into the Roche Pit. They drop the Mass Serpent Wards. Kunkka is going to tank it. Resolution has the crit. He has the healing ward to keep him and his buddies alive. Yawar even has a double damage rune used. And the Dire, I mean, Mirana throws in an arrow. The spin is going to tank up that arrow. And the rotations from the Dire. We have Z-Freak here. Universe with the Shadow Blade. The stomp inside the Roche Pit is going to be a nuisance right there. And the rest of the Dire, the arrow lands onto the Ember Spirit. Are they going to defend the Roche? Jumping from Monkey Thrower Driver, snatches the Aegis right in front of the enemies. He's going to get spinned upon and he's going to lose his first life. Stomp onto the Juggernaut. That controls him up a little bit. Limp wants to get some nice damage in on the other heroes. SVG, they will get out, or will they? Limp is aggressively hunting. Still has a Yule Scepter, is going to Yule's up SVG. They're going to surround SVG with the pure damage. Miracle leaps in, pops his BKB, went for the BKB first item. Black Hole connecting onto the Kunkka, and again the Shadow Shaman. Death grabbing the same 2 heroes. Yawar now needs to retreat, and it is the... Yeah, that's a 3-kill fight for the Dire with the Aegis snatched as well. Did not kill Roche, but they can live with this. Hello? Do we get... I want to fight recap? Hello? There we go. Show fight recap. Good chunk of gold, good chunk of experience on the Dire side. They have a nice army with them as well. Centaur Conqueror plus the Eidolons. They have a lot of pushing power on the Dire side. They even summon up the Treants. Radiant don't. They have the Yawar to try and defend this SVG. The Stomp lands onto Resolution. The Hex onto Timbersaw. We have Death. He drops down his Midnight Pulse. There's going to be the control. They take out Resolution. Limp just cuts away a tree. Does not care. Ghost Ship coming through. It is going to connect onto Miracle. Miracle lifted up. He has his BKB in a couple of seconds. Is he going to get out? He's going to get X. He's dead. Limp is going to get shackled in the middle of that engagement. Death now, however, is another one to fall in this engagement. They lose all 3 Dire cores. But they do manage to take out the tier 3 tower. Monkeys Forever is dead as well. So big fight coming up from the Radiant team to defend their racks. But the tier 3 is gone. That means the shrines can easily be split pushed, especially if you have a Nature's Prophet on the enemy team. You can just TP towards the shrines and then just keep summoning Treants constantly to get rid of the Radiant's defenses. The Radiant have no wards. I mean, they're placing some sentry wards right now to check if the Dire place any observer wards, but the Radiant have no vision. They just placed this one. They had no vision of their own on the map. Dire neither. I mean, they just placed their wards as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Invisibility.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So, complexities still are on the clock, though. The longer this game lasts, the harder it's going to be. Ember Spirit's building into a Radiance. More magic damage to deal with the Timbersaw, but most importantly, to get rid of the creeps that the Dire have. Is anyone building into a pipe? No one is building into a pipe on the Dire side. I mean, Timbersaw could build into a pipe. He's actually building the Lotus Orb against the Shadow Shaman's Hex, Shackles, Ether Shock. We've got it against the Omni Slash, Kunkka's X Marks, Soul Rip. Couple of things that they can use. He can use it against. Plus, it also not really. I mean, not really any debuffs on the Radiant side.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ember chains also. Yeah, okay, wait for the chains. They blink in. Juggernaut spinning. Is he gonna get out? He's still... I mean, he's already dead. He got destroyed.
Radiant's middle tower.
And that is going to be Juggernaut dead for 40 seconds. Dire take out the tier 1 and they're going to go for the tier 2 in the middle lane. We have, in the meantime, Monkeys Forever. He can just TP back towards his base, defend the top lane, and then TP back towards his team. That's his power. Undying, however, popped its ulti. Undying is dead. Does not get anything done with that ulti. Universe needs to be careful. Jump in. Z-Freak, Limp, going very aggressive right here.
Radiant's middle tower is
And the Dire going to take out this tier 2 tower in the middle lane. It's looking very good for complexity. I mean, they are looking crisp. Couple of mistakes on the Radiant. That helps their cause, of course. But they are looking very impressive. A lot more impressive than I expected from their draft. And their... just me not exactly knowing what their lineup... how they're going to play. I mean, they are not playing with their full lineup either. With Monkeys Forever standing in for Adam. So it is it's always a question mark what happens then. No, Adam is not playing. He is still, I assume, in... what country is he from? Malaysia. The 2 Singaporeans are here, though. Resolution. What items does he have? Resolution is building into the Diffusal Blade and then gonna go for the Blink Dagger. Diffusal so that Limp at least loses his mana, so he cannot get everything go. Oh, Hex on to the Timber Saw. Shackles to control him up. Ghost Ship is there. There's the stomp from Z-Freak with the Earth Splitter coming through, and it's gonna connect onto 3 Radiant Heroes. Yawa dropping very low, has to jump away. He is gonna get killed off before he gets to jump away. Does not have a buyback, so he cannot rejoin the fight. They lose the Monkeys Forever, but Limp is so healthy. They get rid of the Radiant team so incredibly quickly in the middle lane. He's gonna get the X mark onto Z-Freak so that he does not get his stomp off, but Universe does not have a Shadow Blade. He has nothing. Death jumps in with the Malefice, and that's gonna be another kill for Limp. 5, 2, and 13 on the Timber Saw, building into a Hex next. The only one that was not there for the Radiant team at that fight was the Juggernaut. And now the Dire are going to go up the high ground. Limp can easily tank the tower with the reactive armor charges that he's going to get. And they have pushing power on their side. Even though the Nate's Prophet is dead, which is a big amount of their pushing power.
is under attack.
TP back by Z-Freak. Oh, TP to the tower. He's going to join in his teammates at the Radiant's base, which are at the moment taking out the melee racks.
Radiant structures
And those melee racks should fall. I doubt that I mean, he cannot Omni Slash with all these Eidolons and zombies nearby. I mean, the trees nearby. Someone take out the melee racks. 15 health. Death blinks in with the BKB. Just 1 sec. I'll see what happened. Death is going to TP out. Monkeys Forever is going to get jumped. The root is there. Monkeys Forever is going to be an easy target. Miracle, BKB TP as well. And the Dire get out. They take out the range, the tier 3 and the melee racks and TP out to safety. Roshan will be up possibly in 50 seconds. Will most likely be a little bit longer. Strangely enough, Monkeys Forever has not gone for the for the shrines yet. I would have expected him to go for the shrines a lot earlier. Okay, what? Eridan subscribed. Hey, thank you very much, Eridan, for the subscription. Sorry, I was a little bit into something. Mouth Serpent Wards should be an easy tier 2. Bottom lane, Z-Freak. Zoning out, I mean, I guess partially zoning out. Going for a first item BKB. We see a lot of BKBs on Elder Titans. They are super crucial during a fight, because the Elder Titan, if he stands next to someone, it reduces their base armor by 100%. And his spirit does the resistance. But getting rid of their base armor, that's Juggernaut, that normally has 64% physical damage resistance, reduced to 0. If you stand next to the Juggernaut, literally your entire team will chunk the living F out of him. And that's why the Elder Titan BKB is such a crucial item to pick up pretty early. Notice me, Senpai. Darksail, I notice you, buddy. Is the stream lagging? Oh, I know why. Got it. Should be fixed. Soon. Yeah, it should be fixed. I shouldn't get any lag anymore. I mean, I don't think that this game is being casted on the main streams. Sorry.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
I think the main streams are still doing the EU qualifiers. Death links in, trying to get Rezo. He wants to get that black hole on him. That would be a nice target to take. He has finished up his diffuser blade and is building very closely to the blink dagger. But this is, again, this is a build that relies completely on the Omni Slash. And why does he go for a diffuser blade instead of a Mjolnir, by the way? I don't understand. A Mjolnir against the Dire team would be very nice, especially Timbersaw, who does very good against physical damage, but very poorly against magical damage. And the Nature's Prophet combined with the Enigma, Eidolons, they have so much many creeps on them everywhere that an Omni Slash will just absolutely get tanked by everything. They don't really care on the Dire side if he Omni Slashes because they always have Eidolons next to them. They always have the Treants next to them. So I think that might be a slight little misstep. The Diffusal Blade, nice, but if you're jumping to creeps, it's not going to do anything against the Dire team. I mean, the Ember Spirit, of course, does have the Maelstrom, should get into a Mjolnir so that he can go for the Sleight of Fist charges on to the enemy team, which would be, I mean, if Sleight of Fist with a Mjolnir means 20 million bounces of lightning everywhere. Should probably go for the Sleight of Fist charges, though. The 2 Sleight of Fist charges against this AoE, creep Dire team. Roshan being attempted by the Dire. Miracle has a double damage rune. Radiant are all on the right side of the map for some reason, and they have absolutely no idea that the Radiant is doing Roche, which is now going to die. That's going to be an Aegis cheese for the Radiant, for the Dire team. And the Aegis goes to Mirana, who does have a Mjolnir with Limp picking up the cheese. Mirana is going to use the Mjolnir onto Limp because he's just going to be frontlining the entire time and just tank. All that lightning is going to be bouncing all over the place. Hex almost done for the Timbersaw. Actually, Hex is done for the Timbersaw if he wants to buy it. I assume he's going to save up for a buyback. Because it's not like the Radiant can't push. They also have their own little push power with the Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman. Serpent Ward. Xiaowa jumping away. They managed to take out Z-Freak in the top lane. And Xiaowa is still being chased, but he is going to be able to run to safety. Nature's Prophet TPing through. Has a silence, but the silence is not going to interrupt a TP. Because of an 8k player back into glad he is finally getting some spotlight. He had to go for his service for 3. He was in the army. Yeah, damn. I did not know that he was in the army. I do know that he was here for a very long time. SVG, I mean, it's an Undying position 5. Look at his net worth. He has nothing. 2 bracers and a tranquil boots. He does get a lot of health when he pops his ulti, especially if he's level 18. He gets an extra 1600 health, so that would put him at 3200 health. So that's what, because of the changes in the Undying ulti, it does give him that extra little bit of late game potential on the hero. Both teams just playing passively. I mean, the Dire have the Aegis cheese. Yawar being chased, gonna get used up. Do they have the arrow? No, the timing is not on. So the Mirana ulti, that's one of why sometimes you see a Mirana picking up the Yules himself. There is no way, if they time it perfectly, to get out of the Mirana Yule's arrow combo, unless you get help from a teammate. Because the Mirana arrow, if it is in the middle of the Yule's, like stuck in the middle, it is going to be beating everything like a blink dagger before you can respond, because it's already in you. That's why the Mirana Yule's arrow combo is often picked. No song requests, Oric. I don't do song requests anymore while I'm casting. I changed that. I do it when I stream or in between games, but not while I'm casting. All male Singaporean citizens must serve 2 years of services. But you served as well? Or do you still have to serve? There's going to be shackles on monkeys forever. But the Dire are eyeing up this range racks in the middle lane. Mirana ulti was used, and Miracle with the Mjolnir building into a Daedalus next. We have Timbersaw finished up on that Scythe of Ice. The Dire are going to immediately head over towards the top lane, going to look at those melee racks. Actually, they're looking at SVG, seems. But the Radiant have wards. They know that the Dire are on that. Aegis is going to get reclaimed in about a minute 15. SVG should be able to TP out safely. TP back to base because they want to defend it against these Serpent wards over here. Oh, but that means that the Radiant and the Dire are split up. There's going to be a Hex onto the Mirana. Miracle. BKB popped by death. They get the control. Mirana is going to lose his life. That's going to be the Aegis claimed. There is a chase. Limp is not going to go closer. BKB popped by Miracle. Omni Slash, however, is going to finish him off. And that's going to be a nice kill for Juggernaut. Limp, level 24. Oh, if he has his... Actually, it's always a tough... I mean, they don't really have that much tankiness on the Radiant side. So I guess the Timber Chain range would be a pretty nice one to pick. If they have something like a massive strength hero, then you'd go for the Whirling Death attribute reduction, possibly, but not if they have like massive. Like reducing a lot of int is pretty useful. Agility is pretty useful, but for instance, the Ember Spirit does not really care that much about the agility because he is at the moment built into a magic damage build. In a well-equipped army is a small price to pay for living in a rich, developed country. I mean, we don't have forced armies in the Netherlands. Like you don't have to join the army in the Netherlands. You don't have to join the army in most Western countries. I think Germany still has it though. I'm not sure if Germany's. I mean, you are supposed to join if there's a war. Like you get a notice in the Netherlands that if there's a war, you have to, fight, blah blah blah. But yeah, no. There's no reason really anymore for EU. But on reserve for more 10+ years. Each year I have to go back for 2 weeks, 1 month. Okay, damn. Yeah, my dad was a hippie, so he'd never really like it if I joined the army.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This game is lasting a lot longer than expected.
Radiant are scanning.
I would have expected the Radiant to be able to, bounce back, take over control of this game. But it is very hard to fight against the Dire team. We have a smoke up on their end. Aeon Disc, he's going to build into Shadowblade next Shower in the middle lane. He does throw out some chains, jumps towards the bottom lane where he had a Fiery Remnant still going. He also has finished up the Aeon Disc. So they need a nullifier on the Dire side. Mirana's build has finished up the Chrysalis, now going to go for an MKB. Actually, it would be a really good item to have. Nullifier at the moment. I mean, nullify the Ember Spirit when he pops, when his Aeon Disc gets procced. Nullify the Juggernaut. No Blink Dagger, no Manta Style, no Diffuse. He's screwed. I mean, he has the Omni Slash and Blade Fury, but that's a... Nullifier is such an underrated item. No BKBs used, no Yule Scepter, no... the Aeon Disc proc gets taken away. Such a great item to use. Just playing this so well. If he wastes one black hole rain, just stop the fight. Exactly. He's just waiting, making sure that if he gets his black hole, it's gonna be success. Ember Spirit, however, is gonna get silenced. He's gonna get hexed, but they should not have the damage to take him out. He's gonna get his Aeon Disc proc. Yules the black hole from death, and that actually takes him out. There's no black hole for another fight available for the next 130 seconds, but that was a very nice engagement from the Dire side to proc it and control him up in the meantime. That Yule, was that his own Yule Scepter? That wasn't his own Yule Scepter. That was a very strange combo. His Aeon Disc procced and him flying in the sky while his Aeon Disc is procced. Just like the idea of the mandatory 2 years. I'm personally am not a fan of conscripting in the army, but then again, I am more, you know, peace and prosperity to all, which does not work in a lot of in every country. I cannot speak of other countries. I just don't know how it goes in other countries. D-Freak. They get the control onto Rezo. There's going to be a Hex. Juggernaut. This is also a problem that he has. In comes the Ghost Ship. It's going to connect onto Miracle. Miracle does not pop his BKB in time. Yawar with the buyback. Jumping into the fight. Z-Freak is going to TP out. Omni Slash onto Monkeys Forever. And it's going to be a double kill for the Radiant team. But that was Yawar's buyback use. Roshan's going to be up in 30 seconds. Not even that big of a loss for the Dire team here. Oh, can you sure with Graph? Sure. It is very even experience as well. Experience is actually in favor of the Radiant right now, with the win percentage slightly ahead for the Dire side. Roshan is going to respawn right now. They're going to put the courier in there, and Roshan is up. That's an age she's refreshing that the Radiant can go for. They definitely want that. Are they going to be fast enough to take it out before the Dire respawn? There is a black hole in about 15 seconds. Dire scan it so they know that the Radiant are in there. Mirana just needs to get there ASAP. Nate's Prophet can TP in. Mirana will probably TP to the shrine and join in. Shackles onto the Roche. Jump in from Limp. Scout out the Roche pit. How low is Roche? I mean, he does not... The Hex gets returned onto the Shadow Shaman. There's going to be a black hole onto the Juggernaut. Juggernaut's dropping low. Does he get out? He's going to get finished off by Limp. And a buyback by the Juggernaut has been used. MSS is now being chased. Actually, we see Limp going up the high ground. MSS right click down. Gem is on the deck. Inside the Roche Pit. Ghost ship comes through. SVG, Universe, and Rezo, all three in the Roche Pit. The Aegis gets snatched by Universe this time. And the cheese, I think Limp ate the cheese or Monkeys Forever ate the cheese. Either of the two ate the cheese. Hex onto the Elder Titan. He's going to fall. Limp is still enjoying his time there. There's going to be the X marks the spot. Onto Monkeys Forever. Shackles to control up the Timbersaw. Timbersaw dropping low. Controlled up. Timbersaw is going to fall. Monkeys Forever picks up that Aegis. Is not going to get rooted. Is he going to get out? He is going to be able to get out with the gem. Not the Aegis. Sorry. With the gem. Juggernaut even has the refresher shard, so he could Omni slash refresher Omni. Great fight coming out from the Radiant team. But a double buyback on the Radiant side used. They also don't have a buyback available on Yawar. Do they still have the Kunkka? They still have the Kunkka Aegis though. Suited for hard work. If you really needed every male soldier you can get, surely more soldiers period would be wiser than only half of the available adults. I mean, the problem is you also don't want an army that... Because a lot of armies have one big issue, and that is they have more soldiers than that they have equipment for. Which is the big problem in a lot of situations. You have, like, you don't have enough bullets, for instance, to get everyone geared up. And that's why you should focus more on strength than numbers. Quality over quantity. Why am I even talking about this? It's always about freaking politics in this channel. Look at this. Monkeys Forever split pushing the top lane, sending in these minions to take out the range racks. This is unhealable damage, by the way. And it is going to fall unless the Radiant, they don't even throw it to defense. They're just going to let this fall. Yawar TP's through. He thinks, I want that gold. Give me that gold. Give me. He went for the Remnant Charge Resort time. I actually would have liked the Sleight of Fist. Double Sleight of Fist. It's pretty damn useful against so many creeps on the Dire side. There's the gem on the Elder Titan. Still only has a BKB, which he's had for a very long time. MSS. Just turned level 20. Is he going to go for the Shackles or Serpent Ward max HP? He has not chosen yet.
Warriors of the wood.
Did you notice the rapier? Wait, I did not notice the rapier. Okay, I did not notice the rapier on Tukunka. Okay. Universe throwing out a Hail Mary. I mean, he has the Aegis, so it's not that bad of a choice. Monkeys Forever has a Hex, though, which he throws out onto Yawar. Yawar's Hex. TP out by Monkeys Forever. He's not going to TP out. In the meantime, we have Timbersaw jumping in. He's going to go for the Shadow Shaman. I mean, he is very survivable, though not as survivable against that Kunkka Whip, which comes through. Miracle dropping super low, is going to try and get away. There's the Omni Slice bouncing around. Black Hole gets dodged right there by the Juggernaut. They do manage to take out one dire. But Miracle actually died there. And the control to the Timbersaw. Hex is there. Another Black Hole gets used, but is there going to be damage, however, to take out the dire, the Radiant Heroes? It looks like a triple buyback on the dire side. Death is going to lose his life. He does not have a buyback available. Universe is trying to get the whips going, but Universe, that's going to be the rapier. It's gonna drop soon. They have no way of defending his life right now. Stomp comes through. Universe does not have any. I mean, he needs backup. He needs Rezo, but Rezo, he can't do anything. That's going to be the rapier on the deck. Miracle picks us up. Miracle is, Bartior. And now the Radiant are in a massive world of trouble. They do have a buyback available on the Kunkka. Dire have only a buyback available on Monkeys Forever, but the Radiant, this is looking very, very, very grim. Trying his best at the end to throw out a lucky whip. Maybe he gets crit and kills off the entire Dire team. Was not as successful as he'd hoped. I mean, he did a nice ton of damage, but the Timbersaw just jumping in along the fight, plus the Dire's having buybacks available. That's going to cost them possibly the game. Show buyback. I mean, this is buyback. Have a refresher orb. He snatched a shard. He did have a refresher orb on the Enigma, which he missed his first black hole, popped his refresher orb, and then went for the second.
And after them.
Incredible game so far. It's 47 minutes in. I mean, great TP right there. They still have the top shrine, by the way, on the Radiant side. How do they still manage to have that top shrine against Monkeys Forever? I have no clue. Monkeys Forever with the Hex, with the Scythe. Scythe is so good. Especially on Nate's Prophet, which can TP all over the map to try and help out his teammates. I think they're waiting for the Enigma, for either the next Roche or the Enigma double black hole available again. But Mirana, look at that. 600 damage with the chance to get 175 extra crit damage. It's building into a Satanic for the extra heals and health. I mean, it's a lot of strength, so it's a lot of health. Which he needs, because otherwise you don't want to drop this rapier and give it to the Radiant team. Juggernaut, you did had the refresher shard. He is building into a nullifier. He actually has enough money for the nullifier. Nullifier can be used in the middle of a Omni Slash. So, for instance, if he uses the Omni onto the Enigma, he can also pop the Aeon Disc effect. Get rid of that.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant are scanning. Refresher orb going to be built up on the other side, but this is double refresher Enigma that they have to contest with. A double black hole Enigma. Buybacks, however, on the Radiant side are all dropping off. In a minute, you have a buyback on MSS and Resolution, whereas the Dire, two of their cores plus Sea Freak, all three do not have a buyback for another 4.5 minutes, which does give the Radiant some time to get a jump on a nice Dire hero, especially right before the Roche respawns. Wait, another rapier? Did I really miss a second rapier? What? No second rapier. You. Mirana with the rapier building into a Daedalus next after the Satanic. I mean, she doesn't have a buyback anyway, so she might as well buy out completely. Mirana ulti has been used. Timbersaw has a lot of items, though. Look at this. Scythe, bots, Shivas, the Lotus Orb. Miracle needs to be careful that he does not get jumped, because an Omni Slash will still kill him. Universe with the whip to defend. Double damage at the Roche pit, which could respawn in 10 seconds, but will be a lot longer. How did you become that fluent in English? I lived in Africa, in Uganda, for the first 7 years of my life. I watch a lot of shows, though. They get the hex on Timbersaw. Timbersaw does have the Load Orb on himself. Arrow is going to connect onto Yahweh. It's a very long cooldown arrow, long stun. Stomp actually gets interrupted by Z-Freak himself. Roshan's going to be up in 2 minutes. Nullifier ready on the Juggernaut, though. So the Nullifier could be a very big pickup. In the meantime, we have Yahweh defending his base. Has his Fire Remnant thrown out so that he can join his teammates. The Roshan respawn timer is pretty damn long. BKB pop by Z-Freak. Chase in from Yahweh. There's going to be... I mean, he needs to be a little bit careful because a bad stun can really screw him up. Ghost Ship gets thrown out. In the meantime, bottom lane is being pushed in by Monkeys Forever. Is going to get X marked by Universe with the torrent coming through, but Monkeys Forever throws out the Hex. And silence, and it's just going to run away. And with that... Yahweh... Wait, what? When did Yahweh... Wait, Black Hole? Wait, yeah, Black Hole was being used to kill off Yahweh, who does buyback. And now he is the one with the longest buyback left in the game. 50 seconds and Roche is going to respawn. Okay. Crap, I want to rewatch that fight. I'm sorry! That's what an extra cameraman would be very useful for. I know I can reverse, but it's the fact that Roche is so close to spawning. If I reverse, there's a chance I might accidentally miss the last fight of the game. Which is the problem here. Like, they are all so close to each other constantly that I'm so scared to... Ah, fuck it. Because this is always a little bit of peskiness. Okay, no. A little bit further. Come on. A little bit further. Did he just buy back? He just bought back. Crap. Never mind. We're going live. Too much work. Sorry. The game lasted too long. It's always a bit of a problem to find out exactly where the point was where he died. We'll just, you know, have to... When did the top racks die? I have no idea. I will set up a marble race. No worries, Oric. Reported caster, I'm sorry, okay? I wish I had it. Dire Scan, the Radiant are here. Jump in, Black Hole, it gets missed by death. He does not have a Refresh Orb available. X mark onto Limp, he's trying to retreat. He's going to use himself. Dodges the Torrent with that. Sleight of Chains is going to root him, but he is still out of there for now. Stomp from Z-Freak connects onto 3 Radiant heroes. In comes the Earth Splitter as well, and it does a crap ton of damage to get rid of the Kunkka immediately. The right click from Miracle with that Chrysalis and the Divine Rapier, taking out 2 Radiant heroes. Triple arrow. It does connect onto the Ember Spirit. That he did not expect the arrow to come that direction, and he is going to be able to get his Endless proc. Jump away. Omni Slash onto Miranda. That's going to be the Divine Rapier on the deck. Juggernaut's going to get Hex. Juggernaut with the Divine Rapier. Refresh Orb used by Enigma. Jawa jumps into that Black Hole. Control is there. Divine Rapier is again on the deck. Buyback by the Juggernaut use the shackles onto the Timbersaw to keep him controlled. Who picked up that Divine Rapier? Who ran away with it? Is it going to be Death? It is... Actually, who is the one that picked it up? They kill off Z-Freak. The Divine Rapier's on Kunkka. How the hell is it on Kunkka? What happened during that engagement? I lost track of who had the Divine Rapier. Mute onto the Mirana is not going to be able to get out of this stun control, and Mirana is dead. That's a dieback on the Mirana. That's a very costly dieback on the Mirana. Miracle might have made a slight mistake. Roshan is up, and Roshan is an Aegis Cheese Refresher, where the Radiant is at the moment heading towards This might be the agency's refresher to win them the game.
A tool to teach.
No black hole for another 80 seconds. Dire are trying to get the split push in the bottom lane. Maybe they can take out, or at least stall the Radiant team a little bit longer. They're pushing out all 3 waves to make sure that the Radiant will not be able to push the Dire's base that quickly. But a couple of nice plays coming out from the Radiant team there, though the Miracle reinitiation was probably a little bit of a mistake.
Tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
TP back by death. 30 seconds he has his black hole, 60 seconds refresh orb. So it still is not over. I mean, a double black hole, if he gets a good connection on the black hole, could still win the Radiant, the Dire, the game easily. Plus the Radiant have no buybacks on 4 of their heroes. Who picked up the Aegis? The Ember Spirit has the cheese. The Aegis is on Kunkka, of course, because he has the Divine Rapier in his inventory. And then we have Juggernaut with the Refresher Shard for the double Omni Slash. Though Refresher Shard would also not be that bad for the Shadow Shaman if you drop the double Mass Serpent Wards on the high ground. Monkeys Forever sending his entire Treant army to scout out the area. Look, they're walking wards. Walking wards! This game is so incredibly close. 9, 8, 12. Let's check out. Okay, we're just gonna go over what everyone took as their level 25 talents. Miracle went for the multi-shot Sacred Arrows, which one connected onto Yawar, which destroyed him. Elder Titan went for the Echo Stomp, weight damage 600, so that is Echo Stomp. 800 damage he can deal when he Echo Stomps someone. Did not go for the Earth Splitter reduced cooldown. Refresh Orb is what he is building into. Yeah, he almost has the full Refresh Orb as well. He can actually buy the full Refresh Orb, but he's saving up for buyback. Monkeys Forever went for the... Still has not decided. I would assume remove teleportation cooldown because that one is so sick. Limp Timber Chain. Rezo. 600 health. Universe. Ghost Ship Fleet instead of the Tidebringer Cleave when you have a Divine Rapier? Okay, that one does not... That one I find strange. I would have definitely gone for the Tidebringer Cleave if you go for the Radiant Daedalus, the Rapier Daedalus build. Just come on, just... Juggernaut. Wait, we already talked about Juggernaut. We have the Shadow Shaman. Is not there yet. We have Undying. He does have Tombstone on Death. That's now a level 20 talent instead of a level 15 talent. Enigma went for the Malefice instances. Okay, that's a lot of Malefice ticks that he's going to throw out. And did he eventually... He went for the remove teleportation cooldown. So yeah, he's going to be able to do this constantly. Slowly taking out the range racks. Yawar needs to go back to base to defend it. They might lose that Aegis in the next 2 minutes. It's going to drop in a minute 30, and the Dire are not ready. They don't care at the moment. Oh, Monkeys Forever silences the Juggernaut. There's a TP from Yawar onto... Yeah, that's in complete control. Nate's Prophet is caught. MP gets caught. MP gets killed. He does have a buyback. He has 6k net worth, 6k gold in his bank, just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Show net worth, please. Sure. Top 2 net worth of Resolution and Yawar. Then it's going to be Limp, Monkeys Forever, and Death. Miracle.
Dire's bottom shrine is under
About
attack.
the same net worth as Universe. Ghost Ship Fleet makes it almost impossible for them to die. I mean, I get it. But if you're already on the rapier level, you might as well go all out and go for that one-hit whip to destroy the enemy team. There's no refresh, no ags on the Shadow Shaman, but he does have a refresh shard, so double Mass Serpent Wards could destroy a nice set of racks pretty easily. That Aegis is going to get reclaimed right now. So now Kunkka needs to be very careful where he is positioned with that Aegis. He's going to probably swap in the Blink. He's actually building into Silver Edge for that bigger whip possibility. But should probably swap in that Blink Dagger now. Blink Whip. If you get it perfectly aligned with the X mark on yourself. Okay, he's going back to base to buy out the Silver Edge. Does have a buyback saved up if he gets to that point. The Radiant have their buybacks are almost gone. They get the Hex on the Elder Titan. Triple arrows getting thrown out. Gets dodged. Shackles to control up the Elder Titan. We have Limp in the front lines just trying to zone them out. Seafreak, however, is going to die. That's going to be the gem on the deck. Ghost Ship Fleet has been used for that fight. But we still have a Blink Black Hole, Refresher Black Hole ready. Yeah, Lucas is doing it, Neil Dotes. Lucas on my Discord is doing it. He said he'd do it, so... he should have it done, pretty much. I assume. Miracle's net worth. Miracle's net worth is very low. I mean, it's still above MSS, but... he's bottom of the cores.
Dire's bottom tower
Oh,
is under
he's...
attack.
Monkeys Forever is really farmed. Let's finish up an AC. Is going to go for an E-Blade. What? How did he get so... wow. I mean, his split pushing power constantly. They almost take out the tier 4 as well in the Radiant base. Dia have not lost a single Rax yet. Damn. Position 5 Nature's Prophet, by the way. Position 5. I mean, Monkeys Forever is an offlane player, so it makes sense that he plays his position 5 as his offlane. Pretty much. But damn that net worth on him.
Pull roots and run.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Back to port.
And that's the E-Blade finish up on NP. So if anyone gets Omni'd, or if he gets Omni'd, I mean, Resolution has a way of getting rid of the Omni, of the E-Blade with the Nullifier. But it still is pretty damn annoying because he has to use it for that. And in general, the E-Blade could be very crucial against, for instance, the Kunkka. If he doesn't have his BKB off cooldown, you just throw it on the Kunkka, and he can get completely cucked. Dire are smoked up. Seafreak spots out SVG. He's going to Glimmer Cape himself. SVG actually has a Blade Mill, which is really good on an Undying level 25. Went for the Gains Reincarnation 250 cooldown. Oh, the Undying is annoying. And Shadow Shaman. What's attack damage or Ether Shock damage? X-Mark, he's gonna get Yule's up in the sky. Is gonna be able, actually he pops the BKB, so he's, okay, he is gonna manage to get back Resolution. They're chasing after SVG. In comes the Ghost Ship Fleet. It's gonna, Seafreak is gonna get controlled up. He gets a stomp off on the Kunkka. And Omni Slash on the backline. It gets rid of Miracle and it kills off Death. Death does buyback. He does have his Black Hole still available. Buyback is available for Seafreak as well. He throws out the Black Hole onto the Ember Spit and the Kunkka, but the Refresher is, they're gonna go for Universe. That's the big target to take, but they get the control. Death did not pop his BKB in time. He did not pop it before he went in for his next Black Hole. They do manage to take out the Kunkka with the Rapiers on the deck, but they get the Mutant onto the Timbersaw, who's manages to get back into his base, but that was a very very costly fight for the Dire team with the Radiant buyback used on the Kunkka, but the Radiant bought back on 3 different heroes with the Black Hole refresher. Black Hole has been expended. The Omni Slash from Juggernaut in the backline, taking out both the Mirana and the Enigma. Probably cost them the game here. There's only a melee Rax in the bottom left for the Radiant. Dire still have, like, still almost their entire base left. Resolution gets lifted up. We still have Monkeys Forever in the top lane, continuously split pushing. Look at la 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 la. TP towards the middle lane, cut the creep wave. La 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 la. Dire do not want to buy back on the Mirana, and they don't have to buy back on the Mirana because they have that Monkeys Forever cutting the creep wave off. Bottom lane is being pushed in. Yawar jumps in. They're going to go for Z-Freak. Z-Freak is hacked. Z-Freak is controlled. That's going to be a dieback onto Z-Freak. A very costly dieback. The Ghost Ship fleet coming through. And that's going to be middle set racks. The Radiant are going to go for the finish push. Hacks onto the Timber Saw while he tries to Timber Chain forward. There's going to be a triple arrow. It's going to get tanked by Reza so that it does not hit MSS. There's a buyback available on the Timber Saw. They get the control. Yawar is dead. That's going to be the Rapier on the deck. Miracle doesn't have room for the... Okay, he does manage to pick up the Rapier. Okay, it looked like he didn't have room, but that's a Rapier onto the Mirana. Again, buyback by Yawar. Jumps back in. And the Radiant... I mean, do you want to continue this? Triple arrow gets thrown out. Now the Dire have that Divine Rapier on their team. Good arrow from Miracle could decide the team fight. Resolution is gonna... Does have his Omni Slash still available. Does also have the Nullifier. The triple arrow is not going to connect. They are going to use the root here, the Nature's Prophet root, to make sure that the Radiant cannot destroy the Dire's Ancient. This is so nasty. Yawar actually has to cut down those roots. From Monkeys Forever, they get the Hex on the Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman is dead. They get the control. Nature's Prophet does have a lot still, but the Ghost Ship fleet coming in clutch. They are about to drop the Dire's Ancient. They get the Hex on the Timber Saw on the backline from MSS, but there's the Black Hole. It connects onto the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is controlled. Limp does get a couple of right clicks in on Resolution. He pops his Omni Slash just in time. Enigma is dropping low. Enigma is going to die. They also lose the Mirana in that jump, and this is going to be the game. It was a very close game indeed, but the Forward Gaming managed to drag this right over the finish line after 67 minutes. This is one hell of a hard game to fight, to even must. This is just 67 minutes on your first game in the North American qualifiers. This is gonna be a long day for Complexity. For me, it's a long night because it's, you know, it's like 8:30 p.m. over here. But what a fight coming through from Forward Gaming, grabbing Complexity by the balls and squeezing really tight. They almost got that. Monkeys Forever tried his best. Tried his utmost. Like, not even... Look at the damage that the Dire dealt. They all spread a reasonable amount of damage, but it's not one person being excessively gigantic, like in the Radiant side. We have Ember Spirit going big on the Radiant side. Resolution doing the least of the 3 cores on the Radiant side. I mean, second in building damage. Shadow Shaman is even number 1. But Monkeys Forever with the building damage that he did. Split push. Such a good game. Such a good game. Oh, that was very enjoyable to watch. Okay, so what we do here in between games is we go and watch. We do a little mini game on this channel where we do marble races. And marble races is pretty much everyone in chat can join in. You type !play, and then you can, I mean, it's, as it says, it's a marble race. The winner gets, you know, a little shout out and a little bit of love. Mirana set, please. What Mirana set was it? I have no idea what Mirana set it was. Oh wait, that's the freaking costly mount. It's not bunny mount, so it's not good. That's pretty much how it works. Okay, I'm gonna timer at 150 seconds while I bio real fast. Type !play to join the marble race. We're gonna get ready for the second game, which should start in about 5 to 10 minutes.
I'm gonna open the window because it's way too freaking warm. And I'm gonna check my... Oh, about a minute. So I have a little surprise for the people that, well, know this channel. They know that me and a couple of other streamers are, casters are friends. And so we have a special guest coming through. Join us in the second game, and it is Hasbaz, UK caster. A very nice guy. And we're going to do a cast. The second game. God. And it just spilled water all over. Oh, fuck it. Let's see. There we go, marble race starting. So everyone's marble is just gonna spin around. See who's gonna be first place. This is the first time we've ever done this map. This is a revamp of a previous map, Twists and Turns. And this is Twists and Turns 2. Looks a little bit interesting. Double sweeper at the end. Okay, okay. Sweepers are always the bane of pretty much everyone in this game. Ah. Does Hasbaz have... Okay, he does have VIP. Yeah, he does. Right, he should be able to join the channel. And in the lead, sorry, Imran is leading with Fap Epic coming in second place. Let's see, song request. What do we want to listen to? Fuck it, poker rap. Once I don't know if what music I want to listen to, I usually just go for the song request, poker rap. Has been added to the queue. Wait, what? Song request? Go. There we go. Easy. Imran is going really well. Fab Epic is right behind him, but there is still a couple of structures before the end. So we'll have to wait and see who's going to finish the race.
Okay, DK, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Hello, Hasbaz.
Hello, are you excited for this dual cast? It's the first time I'm doing anything like this.
I've done... 2 in total. One with Crans before. No, actually 3. I've done 4, sort of. Yeah, 4. All different casters. 1 Dutch, 1 Hasbaz, 1 Sam, 1 Huramai, and you're my 5th.
Your fifth, I hear, is your most special. Even more special than your first.
Yeah, 100%. Especially because it's your first, so...
Oh, so you're happy to be taking my first time, are you?
Yeah, I'm always happy to take someone's first time. Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I find it's a lot of pressure to take someone's first time.
Whew. Yeah, no. I mean, they have no idea what to expect, so I can just fuck it all up.
Anyway, let's have a look how I'm doing this marble race. That's
3rd.
I'm 3rd. That's not bad.
I mean, the plus point that if DK Truman wins the race, everyone gets eggs in the chat.
So everyone gets a nice victory for that. Though if my Bolton bot would have won, everyone would have lost eggs in the chat.
So tell me, what can we spend eggs on? What's the point of this virtual currency?
Okay,
Why am I-
song requests for in between games or when I'm not casting. Then we have betting. You can bet on games that we're doing just to show up with that bigger EP-ness. And skins in this marble race that you can see on the right side. All of these skins have been, well, not all of them. Some have been paid for just normally, but other ones have been bought with marble, with eggs in the chat. It's about 100k eggs needed to buy a skin. I think the Chinese one, the Aussie one, and the poofy pink camo one have all been bought with eggs.
Damn, eggs, a useful currency. Probably worth more than the pound after Brexit, let's be honest.
Yes. I mean, it's really good that that happened for me because everything I order from England's now a lot cheaper.
How much stuff do you order from England?
I mean, but not the most, but recently I bought, like, my laptop screen broke and Netherlands had no replacement, so I had to order it from the Brits.
Oh, the good old Brits with those spare laptop screens coming right through.
And damn, it was actually delivered in like 2 days.
I mean, at this moment in time, we are still part of the European Union, so, you know, you get those benefits.
Yeah, luckily, still at the moment. What the hell? The OG versus the real deal, and the real deal is doing pretty well. And let's see, what are the other teams doing? Caban versus Vega. Not bad.
I still can't believe Nip beat Secret. That was my big upset of the day.
Oh yeah, I watched that game as well, like after my game that I casted. Damn, that was impressive. I definitely did not. I mean, there were, like, the draft was just.
PPD outdrafted Puppy?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, PPD is known to be one of those captains who can win a game just on draft. So.
I mean, there's no other way that they'd beat them, so yeah. It had to have been Puppy just derping.
I mean, he did just win a major. They're allowed to take a break, you know. He takes his foot off the pedal for 1 second, and suddenly Peter's just ramming salt up in there, so, you know.
Oh, Hasbaz has been eliminated.
This game is absolutely rigged. Don't worry, Dark Steel. I am reading the chat, and I see your love of Marks and Spencer. I'm gonna be honest. There is a good institution. They make very solid underwear.
I have, like, the cheapest underwear ever. It's just barely not thrift shop underwear.
Serious question. What does your girlfriend think about that? You need to show her something nice.
She does not like my. She pretty much clothes me. It's like she buys all my clothes at the moment because everything I choose is wrong.
She's trying to turn you into a real man. Don't let her.
Yeah, she's
Keep
trying.
your childlike innocence.
If I've got, like, shirts in my closet that are like fairy tale shirts, and I've got like a vest from My Hero Academia, stuff like that. And she does not enjoy it that much that I weeb around the entire time.
Oh, that reminds me. I still have to watch Slime today and Mob Psycho 100.
I need to watch Slime, though I have not watched Mob Psycho yet, because is that season 1 or is that?
Season 2's out.
Yeah, okay. I'm still watching Hunter x Hunter at the moment.
Okay, I've never watched Hunter x Hunter, but Mob Psycho's great. It's by the guy who wrote One Punch Man, so it's really good. And how do you win every time this marble
I'm
run?
just so damn good, but it's costing me so many eggs. I want to lose.
I love the inflation going on here in chat. This is good. Good stuff.
I just don't. These days I barely ever win, and then this time I just destroy everyone because it's just too easy. Can't help it. Did you, by the way, watch the last game?
I did catch the end of it, yes. That was insane with the rapier and their base almost in tatters, but they still managed to win.
That was such a good game.
Just the really annoying thing is Mirana wasn't attacking them while they were in the black hole. Like, she was being zoned on the back line.
Yeah, but Mirana has been zoned out the entire time. Like, Mirana is not... I don't like it as a position 1.
I mean, we didn't like it at all. We saw it in our game together. You were unable to connect any arrows.
That's because of your disruptions were terrible.
No, my disruptions only saved the enemy team like a few times. Come on. But in the laning phase, my disruptions were on point, unlike your arrows. But I'll admit, in the later game, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm not good on disruptor. I mean, Shadow Demon. Fuck. Frickin' hell. Frickin' hell.
Yeah, with disruptor. With disruptor, eh?
Yeah. With disruptor. You get it right there. Anyway, we should be into this game fairly soon.
Yep,
it should
game's
be
ready.
Is it in the live tab yet?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Awesome.
Okay, I mean, I've been impressed by Complexity's play. I would have expected it to be a lot easier for forward gaming. Because at the moment, Complexity is also playing with a substitute.
But let's be honest, they went through the open qualifiers with Monkey. So, like, it's the same thing that happened with Skem in the last season, where Complexity played all their games with one player missing and a sub, and they qualify for the thing. And in the event, they're going to have someone else, but they're just not going to have the synergy at the event. They just have to, at some point, man up and accept if they're not able to get visas for players, that they shouldn't be on their official roster.
That is, yeah, it's still strange that in 2019 you can't get a visa from like every country. Malaysia, I would have assumed that someone from Malaysia could easily get a visa, and like, I have no idea what the international politics is behind every choice, but a sports visa is that hard to get?
I mean, it's not just a sports visa, because it's not the usual B2 visa, because it's not for only an event. It's actually a work visa that they need to secure for them, which is a lot harder for US, especially in the current climate with a certain president who won't be named.
Who won't be named? Oh yeah, who would that be? Oh yeah. I mean, it should be about 2 years and then he's gone. Yeah, I think.
I'm not gonna speculate on the 2020 elections.
What, isn't Kanye running for president? Come on, Kanye best.
Kanye has got his help he needed, is no longer having a manic episode, and is not that much of a firm supporter of Trump, I don't think, at the moment. Anyway, should we actually talk about the game instead of the geopolitical situation? So how do these bans differ from the first game? Unfortunately, I missed them.
Pretty much equal. I mean, the Undying ban, because of the Undying being very annoying last game. And the Nate's Prophet ban from 4 gaming, because yeah, Monkeys Forever played an insane game on the Nate's Prophet. From position 5 to pretty much being position 2 in his team.
Well, I remember I saw this in an SEA team, that their 5-position Prophet, just due to the fact that it's a Nature's Prophet, able to soak up all that free farm over the map. So it eventually just comes online no matter where you start it in lanes. Anyway, so this Elder Titan pickup. How do you feel about Elder Titan this patch? He did get a bit of a nerf. I
mean, yeah, a nerf, but like, the power is behind the players that play him, and Seafreak. The last game, his stomps and his Earth Splitters have just been phenomenal. He destroyed the entire team. The team fights all started with the Elder Titan stomp into the Earth Splitter every single time. That's the ones that they won. Without that one, they most of the time either equaled the fight or they lost the fight.
Okay, and look at what Forward Gaming have just picked up. They've taken the poor man's Lich Juggernaut with the Grimstroke Juggernaut. Has the same sort of thing with the Inkswell, allowing you to stay on top of people while you're Blade Furying, and then the stun just latches on. That's a very powerful early pick there for Forward Gaming.
I really hate playing against the Grimstroke. It's one of the most annoying heroes because of the Phantom's Embrace that you need to right-click down while you're running away. Otherwise, it will rend you, and it does a lot of rend damage.
Did get nerfed this patch down to 300 from 320 at level 4.
Oh yeah, woohoo! 20 damage.
I know.
It's like a truck.
Actually, serious question. how did you feel about Ice Frog's way of nerfing PA and Medusa by putting their two most abusive talents at the same level? I thought that was pretty damn interesting.
I think that it was a massive debuff for PA because now you have to choose between more crit or the triple siphoning dagger, and the triple siphoning dagger is just too good. Whereas, I just think the triple siphoning is way too good, so you always choose that over the crit, which is going to be very costly because the 5% crit chance for 450% damage is a big nerf.
I agree with you there. But look at this. We have an Ursa, man. An Ursa bear. Big Fuzzy Wuzzy versus the Juggernaut.
Yeah. I mean, it's good against the Juggernaut. Problem is, it can get kited very easily. And again, it
did get a 20 move speed buff. Don't forget about that 20 move speed. Not something to be underestimated. He'll be able to follow absolutely anyone with that now.
Yeah, but I'd rather have a life stealer than an Ursa in that case, because the life stealer has that has the extra slow. Well, Ursa also has slow, but the life stealer has that BKB in the early game, which you can utilize a lot better. I mean, it is good against the Juggernaut if you get the bashes in while he's spinning, but I still think that the Ursa needs a little bit more. He needs some extra help from his team more than a life stealer would.
I mean, it is worth pointing out that the Elder Titan, with that aura, it means eventually near this later game, Ursa will be doing absolute pure damage with those Fury Spikes versus this Juggernaut. That's not something to take lightly.
Yeah, that is... Well, yeah, that's completely correct. Elder Titan is just an insane hero in the late game. If he gets his BKB, he went for first item BKB last game, and if you just stand next to the enemy, you don't even have to do anything. You just stand there, and they get shredded to pieces by... I mean, if you use a spirit as well, they just get absolutely evaporated by everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the thing I do love about the Elder Titan first pick is it actually means you can't pick certain heroes that rely on armor, such as the Terrorblade and maybe even the Morphling.
Dire team ban.
It just makes them absolutely
Radiant
unpickable.
team ban.
I like that ban of the Magnus, though, by complexity. You just can't let them have Magnus Juggernaut.
They did also ban the Darkseer, but I am afraid of the Doom pickup for forward gaming right now.
But like Ursa, if he's farmed enough, does he care about Doom? I mean, I guess it does mean he gets kited all that much harder.
Yeah,
it?
if he gets doomed, he does not have a blink dagger. He doesn't have his BKB that he can get off, for instance, and then he's an easy target to get kited around with the Grimstroke, Stroke of Fate slow. They have a lot of slows.
You kill off the rest of his team, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you have this poor bear all by himself.
Have you seen what I would love to see? I mean, it's been done today by Liquid, where they picked a Matumba Man Viper to counter out the Juggernaut. I mean, I don't think that complexity. I think that Viper would be pretty decent. They won that game because the ulti from the Viper was 80% movement speed reduction, and they just threw it on the Juggernaut every single time he was spinning. Because it pierces BKB and it is undispellable, so he literally could not get out. He was slowed down with the Aghanim Scepter the entire time in all the fights.
I mean, that's just such a heads-up play by Liquid, understanding that Juggernaut, part of his kit and caboodle is the fact that he gets on top of people and is able to land those spins as well as crits. So let's talk about these two picks that we've just seen. The Brewmaster, is that a 5-position Brewmaster or is it an off-lane Brewmaster for forward?
I mean, Universe does play a lot of Brewmaster, but I do like the 5... I mean, it could even be a 4-position, but I do like the 5-position Brewmaster a little bit more than the 3, because the Brewmaster, all he needs is levels. I mean, the auras, of course, are very nice, but all he needs is to get level 6 and beyond to be able to be effective. He does not really need all the items to be as effective. Of course, it does help with the auras, the radiance, if different builds that they go for, but I do like it more as a position 5. So I have no idea how they're gonna play it up against. Nope, that's not gonna be a position 3. That's a Batrider.
Yeah, I think with the pick of Batrider, this does relegate Brewmaster to the support position, or I have seen 1 or 2 mid Brewmasters, but I think definitely no longer off lane, because that's where you want to be playing your Bat. And Bat versus Ursa. You know, that's such a tough matchup for this bear. I assume complexity to avoid that bat lane like the plague. But look at this, the Shadow Shaman Ursa. I mean, I see this in my pubs the whole time. You're held back by the shackle, and Ursa just pops the skills and absolutely demolishes you.
Yeah, it is. The Shadow Shaman is one of those very annoying supports. It's a classic support that works well with cores like Juggernaut and the Ursa. That they just hold them in place, and Ursa just gets more stacks on the enemy, and eventually it's when you're at one point, it's just 2 hits and you're dead.
I mean, they also... It is worth noting that Batrider will have that increased move speed of the Firefly if they do decide to learn it, lane it versus the Ursa. And they nerfed the amount of time that the stacks remain on people. So with that Firefly, you should be able to get away in time and decrease the amount of Furry Swipe stacks that are remaining on you as a bat.
Yeah, especially if the Shadow Shaman... If you pop your Firefly before the Shadow Shaman gets control of you, even if the Ursa gets on you, the Ursa is still going to burn pretty hefty because there's probably a patch of fire somewhere around you. And that might give the support, which in this case would, I assume, be a 5-4 precision Grimstroke, the extra damage to help out take out the Shadow Shaman or the Ursa in rebuttal. Plus, you know, you have the silence on the Grimstroke to help out the Batrider in the lane, and the Inkswell onto the Batrider while he Fireflies onto the Radiant Tower. It's going to be a very hard lane for the Ursa Shadow Shaman.
That does sound like a very nasty combination. So how do you feel about Death Prophet mid? I've seen it a few times. We did actually see it beat Liquid in game number 1 of their first series of the day today.
I mean, it's a very situational here. It is very tanky, and I love the fact against the Radiant's lineup so far, it is a very good pick because it is a very normal Yule's builder, and against heroes like the Batrider and the Juggernaut and also the Grimstroke, the Yule's is a very good item because you get rid of the spin, the Omni Slash, the Phantom's Embrace, the Batrider. If he jumps in, you can use him before he gets a lasso, or even if he lassos someone, you can just lift up the Batrider or control of the Brewmaster. It is also a very nice hero in the sense that it has a AoE silence, which against the Brewmaster again is very useful. Juggernaut will probably just go and get a Manta style, but it is a very utility based hero that is very survivable, and it is in a sense a tank for the dire side.
Okay, so let's have a look at these bans. They actually ban out the Legion Commander, just something so that Juggernaut doesn't have to be as afraid while he's split pushing, so he's able to spin TP, I think. But that's really interesting. I haven't seen much Legion this patch. Did get that AoE whatchamacallit talent. AoE his skill where he buffs you, removes Deep Urge.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The fuck!
Name it. I'll find the name about it. Shh. Just be quiet for one. Here we go. Legion Commander.
Press the attack.
Press the attack. There you go. Now has the AoE press the attack at level 25. And I've seen that absolutely wreck bases. Seen it used on creeps. It absolutely demolishes things. And that removes, you know, AoE, any debuff, any stun.
Yeah, I loved it. The talent it was before already because it had like a 6-second cooldown, and you just kept on popping it on someone who got stunned, or like for instance the Batrider. That's why they banned it, because the Batrider, if he lassos someone, you could just throw out the press the attack and it debuffs it so that the Batrider's lasso gets broken.
Yeah, I mean today I did see an Abaddon picked up versus a Batrider. So you're right, it's in that kind of spirit. So they ban the OD and they take the Tide Hunter. Do you want to take any bets about what we're going to see in the mid lane here for forward? Want to make your prediction?
This is a tough... I mean, I've seen a lot of different heroes beat the Death Prophet in the middle lane, but it's a very hard matchup to beat, though, because the Death Prophet has a lot of regen.
With the Spirit Siphon,
with Spirit Siphon. I've seen the Necrophos beat it, but I'm not sure if anyone would pick the Necrophos against this dire team. I have no idea what they want to go for. I don't think they even are sure. They're using all their time, and they're gonna go for the Medusa against the Ursa Shadow Shaman. That is a dangerous move.
I mean, I think the thing here is you buy space for your Medusa, your Juggernaut. He doesn't buy too greedily, you know, builds a Yasha, maybe, you know, the full Manta, definitely not a Battle Fury. And you know, you're just trying to buy space, and once it gets that late game, you have the Skadi allowing you to kite that Ursa Bear. So yeah, I'm curious about how this works out, but you're right, that is really greedy. So complexity, they're definitely looking to hit a timing earlier than the forward gaming lineup, I'd have to say that.
Yeah, the bonus that they have on forward gaming side is the fact that Universe is playing the Bat Rider. I personally hate the Bat Rider with every being in my soul, but the Bat Rider is one incredible early game / early mid game hero that can make you space so that the your cores can farm. But I do think that this might be a little bit on the greedy side for forward gaming's lineup. Whereas the Death Prophet and the Shadow Shaman, they have a lot of Roshan potential on the dire side. They have a lot of push potential, which the Radiant are lacking.
Yeah, so, yeah. I think we're in agreement here that complexity needs to have a firm lead, I would say, by the 25-minute mark, or things are looking pretty damn grim for them.
I'm wondering if the Ursa, because I've seen it a couple of times. I've seen Miracle even play it before. The Ursa with the Diffusal Blade.
No, I think that's a really good idea. It will give him kill potential on that Medusa and helps him get kited less. I think that's a very heads-up pickup. But we might not see it until after his Blink Basher.
Yeah, that is pretty much the normal items that he would go for.
So, should we follow the complexity lineup? Looks like they've all smoked up. Probably even looking for first blood here.
Placing the ward. Oh no, not placing the ward yet. I mean, you don't want the smoke to get popped and then give away your ward position, but look at the complexity lineup going towards the top lane. This might be a nice 3-on-3 clash.
So the side of forward gaming aren't smoked up, but they're invading the jungle. Let's see if any pings come out so they can figure out what is going on here. But no, just another deep ward laid down here on the high ground by complexity. That will make their safe lane a tiny bit easier. But look at this, they found Medusa in the mid lane as she tried to return to safety. They get the stomp as well as the gush, and that is a nice, easy first blood for Miracle. Fuzzy Wuzzy having a wonderful early time.
Does cost him his healing salve, but that's a trade you are willing to make. So this might cost them literally all 4 bounty runes.
That is heads up. Is that honestly? I don't think that's worth it if you get 0 bounty runes. And just as you said, they actually didn't wrap around into top lane. They took the long route through the river, and that means 4 bounty runes for the side of forward gaming. And you can see that actually leaves them ahead in the net worth, even though they lost their Medusa and gave away first blood.
That's 800 gold picked up for the Radiant team over every player. 200 gold per bounty rune. I always like to do them slow maths.
I mean, at least we don't have any NA maths on this NA cast.
Probably should not talk bad about NA in chat. I have no idea who's on. I never actually normally cast on this time. It's kind of interesting.
Have a look at this bottom lane. Death, he's the Tidehunter all by himself, and he's just going to go pull this lane. But worth pointing out that he took level 1 Gush to get that kill, so he doesn't have Anchor Smash or the Kraken Shell, so he's not as tanky as he usually is.
But it still is a Tidehunter, has a bunch of regen on him, has 5 tangles left, a healing salve, and 2 iron branches which he can use for extra heals. So he's going to be fine.
The servant supreme.
So, it looks like the full tri-lane up top has broken down. Z-Freak, is he wandering mid? He only has the Stomp, doesn't have the Astral Spirit. But UR is fairly low, so if Limp gets off the slow with Siphon, now Z-Freak, he's running towards, is he able to get in there with the Stomp? It looks like with the shield from UR, he's just going to walk past. Tell Medusa, I was here. I was waiting for you.
You have been warned. One slight misstep and you're going to get your ass beaten.
But yeah, it looks like Z-Freak is coming out to help his Tidehunter in the bottom lane. They don't want to leave him all alone. And so while this bat, he's farming okay in this lane. And again, SVG, look, he's blocking out this pull camp here. So they're not able to manipulate the creep equilibrium for complexity. That's a really heads up play.
Oh, Shadow Shaman. SVG is dropping rather low. If Monkeys Forever gets the shackles on SVG, that might be his life. That will probably be his life with these right clicks coming through. The slow from Miracle has been leveled. He
and the zap from Monkeys Forever to finish him off. But Monkeys Forever, he has to TP out, otherwise the universe is just going to burn him down with the Firefly. This is going to be very strange.
I would just like to say we made fun of NA Math in chat, and instantly they start talking about pie. What's more classic in NA than pie? Anyway, actually, have a look at this mid lane. This Medusa beating the Death Prophet in the mid lane, just getting those big snakes, so stealing all of Limp's mana. He's not able to use that Crypt Storm as often as he would like.
Just use 2 mangoes as well on Limp in a row so that he can get the Crypt Swarm. But now he has to walk back all the way to base. Or is he not going to go back? He's probably going to send out a Healing Salve with another mango.
There's a whole bunch of stuff on this courier. He's getting himself an infused raindrops as well, so he doesn't take all that damage from the snake. So look at this. Miracle as well as Monkeys, both level 3. Universe and SVG only at their level 2. They've been zoned out fairly heavily here in this top lane.
But look at Resolution's last hits in the bottom lane, though. He's already done with his boots, pretty much. That is, it is very deadly to have a Juggernaut lead in the early game. Because Juggernaut...
And the thing is, Forward Gaming, they don't even need Resolution to carry that hard. They just need him to carry the mid game for them, and it looks like he's in a good position to be able to do that.
Yeah, he's pretty much, he should be building into the early game items like Manta style, just so that he can control up the Dire together with the Bat Rider. So Yawar can farm up the jungle and get big enough that he cannot be taken out.
This mid lane, Limp is full health, managed to get a regen rune. So you might want to play it a tiny bit safe if Limp feels a bit aggressive, like he wants to dive.
Yeah, Resolution is getting way too much farm in the bottom lane.
I mean, Death isn't doing bad on this Tidehunter. He is beating Monkeys Forever, at least in the CS.
Yeah, but the big problem is the fact that Miracle in the top lane is not getting anywhere close to the numbers that Resolution is pulling. It is also, of course, hard for the Ursa and the Shadow Shaman to beat the Bat Rider, because the Bat Rider is just an incredible... Has finished up a bottle, regenning. He's just... One misstep and you're dead.
Wait, look at this again. Forward Gaming, all 4 bounty runes across the map. It looks like Complexity, they're just not prioritizing these runes properly. I mean, Forward Gaming have 0 kills. They're ahead in the CS with their Juggernaut, but they were almost at a 2k lead there.
Yeah, this is not paying attention to the objectives. We see a lot of top-end teams, like the top tier 1 teams, they are focusing so much on those bounty runes because they know that every little bit helps. The min-maxing is needed in games like these. Just not being aware of the fact that the bounty runes are going to spawn. I mean, of course, you don't want to have a one-on-one where your Shadow Shaman is going to fight up against the Bat Rider at the bounty rune, because that's going to cost you your life. But in the bottom area, there should have been an Elder Titan or a Tidehunter at least to pick up one of the 2 bounty runes, if not both.
I can't agree with you more. So look at this Universe. He's popping his Firefly. 4 stats here on Miracle. But I doubt he's going to dive any further. He just wants to farm up this wave in due peace. But Death, he's running down MSS, but he's going to be able to walk away from him. So they both have their 6s in the mid lane. Obviously, a bit more impactful here for this Death Prophet. I'm curious if he tries to get some sort of push going here on Limb. And Z-Freak is coming in. He's pretty damn fast with that Astral Spirit. He's able to land the Stomp on Chihuahua in the trees. They pop Exorcism, but 2 TPs coming in for this mid lane, as well as MSS showing his face. Z-Freak, it looks like he might be the one to pay this price, but he's able to walk out by that high ground. But Limp did pop his Exorcism, and no real objective game for that, thanks to the promise of TPs from Forward Gaming.
The Elder Titan had 180 bonus damage. 120, sorry. I think 100. I have to rewatch that, sorry. I think it was a ridiculous amount of bonus damage that he had going for him. To check that, though. Where is it? It was 180. It was 180 bonus damage.
He might have done the thing where you put it out to some. Actually, yeah. Look at here in the die high ground. Look at all these stacks he's created in the 3 triangle camp.
Yeah,
In the off lane.
that
That's
is
where
a
he got all
big
his
buff.
damage.
I mean, it's not even like if they had a Deuce on the lineup, this would have been a lot better. But it's gonna be like, who's gonna kill this guy? Tidehunter?
Death Prophet and Tidehunter. With the Crypt Scorn, you can do it as well as the Anchor Smash. He does have 2 points in the Anchor Smash now, so he'll be able to clear through stacks fairly decently.
Fortunately, Miracle will not really be able to join them in that Creep Camp Destruction Fest. Like we saw last game, was that last game? Complexity were playing on the dire side as well. Yeah, they also had like a 4 stack.
Odds on the top lane, they do manage to kill SVG, just with the classic shackles as well as the rest of the Ursa spells. And Universe, his Fly is wearing off if they want to go for this. Monkeys Forever has shackles off cooldown again. Is he in range for it? Doesn't quite look like it.
Arcane.
But look at this Resolution. He's farming up their stacks. But his Blade Fury is over. He does have Omni Slash if he wants to use it. The Spirit Siphon, they even blow Ravage on that. So they're killing off Resolution. He's going to pay for desecrating the sacred camps here of Siegfried.
Yeah, it kind of strange that he went for that. He went under the assumption that the Dire did not have any wards, which, if you're stacking as hard as this, I would assume that they'd place some wards to make sure that no one snatches their camps. So the spin to try and kill off the creeps is a little bit questionable for me. Look at Seafreak's damage.
I mean, as soon as she saw someone, he should have spin TP'd if it wasn't on cooldown, I think. He just didn't realize the amount of rotations they were bringing in to try and kill him. And unfortunately, you can no longer Omni Slash TP. But look at this, the Smoke Resolution. He's coming in with MSNS. Their Smoke was popped by Limp on the other high ground, but Lasso onto the Ursa. But Lasso, it wears off. A Miracle, he's going to be just fine. Limp popping his second execution of the game. MSS, he's caught by the shackles and the Inkswell. It does pop, but he dies to ghosts.
I mean, even if you lasso the Ursa and have a bunch of sticky napalm stacks on him, and he just pops his Enrage, has 80% damage reduction, and just stands there like, what you gonna do?
I know, the Bat initiated way too soon his Juggernaut, as well as his Grimstroke. They just weren't in position to be able to offer any follow-up for that lasso. A bit of a misplay there from Universe. But let's have a look. 10-minute bounty rune, first bounty rune of the game for Complexity, taken by Monkeys Forever. And looks like Death, he's trying to get another one in the bottom lane, but he won't. So the runes, it stands at 11-1 for the side of Forward Gaming. But Complexity picking up their first rune, and they'll be happy with that one, I hope.
And the weird thing is, Complexity are 5 kills ahead. They could have been so much. Yeah, they could have been so much net worth ahead with just a couple of more bounty room pickups.
Yeah, switching over to this net worth, we were talking about how ahead Resolution was, but look at UR as well. Both the cores of Forward Gaming, who they need to be having a good game, are having a great game.
So building into the Yasha, gonna go for the Manta style most likely. Well, yeah, definitely a Manta style against the Death Prophet Silence. And possibly the dodge of the Elder Titan Echo Stomp, which is also possible. It is a very hard feat to succeed in. Are you a little bit sick?
No, maybe. Over here, Miracle, look at this. They're diving SVG in the trees. He is going to TP out. They look the wrong way, and I don't think he doesn't even have the mana for Ravage if he wants to blow it.
I mean, could have popped his magic stick charges, but they didn't have the vision.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think you really want a 5-position Brewmaster with your Ravage, especially when you're getting the tower anyway.
True. And does VG TP to the shrine, so he's very close anyway. Monkeys Forever level 6 can drop the Serpent Wards.
Have a look at this here. Universe sitting on the high ground. They find Siegfried. They've got the lasso as well as the Inkswell. Only one stack, but he is sitting in the fire. They get off the silence here on Limp, and he's darting to Spirit Siphon up Universe. The stop, unfortunately, doesn't happen from Siegfried before he goes down. And they take the mid tower. That's what he was focusing on all that time. So a nice little pick off there for the side of Forward Gaming.
And it's already a 4k net worth advantage for the Radiant. With that one kill that they pick up, and of course the 2 towers.
They have smoked up here on the Ursa as well as the Shadow Shaman. They had a ward seeing the Medusa farm, but they weren't able to quite latch with these shackles in the jungle.
So SVG might be in a little bit of a pickle here. Gets his Bruce Split off. And should still run away with the Bruce Split though. The Dire are not going to go for the kill onto the Pandas. They are lacking the AoE damage on their lineup with the Death Prophet not there.
Yeah, Monkeys Forever, they now might be able to kill off this Brewmaster. In the top lane, we did see the Batrider as well as the Juggernaut run down this poor Elder Titan. But SVG, his Drunken Brawler, is wearing off, so it looks like he is finally going to die after that Bruce Split. You are right, he should have played a tiny bit less aggressively, but he thought he could get the solo kill on the Shadow Shaman.
And that brings out the Ursa's Blink Dagger. And that is a point in the game where you need to be scared, especially once he's now going to probably build into the Basher, and then every hero on the Radiant side needs to be very, very careful.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Because there is a massive power spike for the Ursa once he gets his Bash. Because people say, you know, first hit Bash, but like the Ursa is the luckiest hero alive when it comes to first hit Bashes.
Miracle, he's going in, has his Blink Dagger. They know there's no Spirit on SVG, but the Stomp, he does manage to evade it. And it looks like SVG just creating some havoc in the mid lane. And they have revealed this Ursa Blink Dagger now. They know it's online, so they're not going to be able to get an easy pick off with it. All the meanwhile, Universe, he's farming the enemy jungle. Look at this map. Look at where Complexity are playing. They're just totally kept into their own side and this little bit of the bottom. But Medusa farming up their own jungle, as well as the Bat farming up the enemy jungle. Things looking very grim for Complexity, in my opinion.
And it's kind of a little bit unfortunate because last game they did show a lot of class, a lot of skill, and they were just barely taken out. And it would be a very big disappointment to see them getting destroyed this hard in the game.
Let's have a look at this mid lane, however. SVG, they caught him with the Stomp and he goes down instantaneously. They did manage to get the Soul Bind onto Z-Freak as well as Monkey's Forever, but it's wearing off. Miracle, he's diving deep, but he's actually running away from the Inkswell. And now with the Medusa Ultimate, it looks like the entire side of Complexity, they're going to be pushed away, but not quite. They have Exorcism still up, as well as the Ravage, so they're definitely going to claim this tier 1 mid.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Nice rotation from Complexity side.
Under attack.
Taking out the tier 1, SVG down. I mean, it's not the biggest kill to take, but they at least used that exorcism well, got a nice objective out of it, which should be opening up the map a little bit more for Complexity so that they can start going for the Dusas.
Is under attack.
So look over here, they've smoked up, and Miracle, he was able to get his blink away. He broke the smoke on both SVG as well as Universe. Z-Freak, he's trying to escape, does get the Stomp onto SVG, but they do have vision on him, so I'm not quite sure if he'll make it out safely.
Monkeys Forever in the bottom lane, however, drops his Mass Serpent wards to try and deal as much damage to the tower, and that's, I mean, tower's at half health,
Are scanning.
which is pretty nice for a position 5 Shadow Shaman. That's not going to get anything for a very long time. I mean, Z-Freak's also so poor on this Elder
Death
Titan.
on this bottom lane. They have 4 of their entire lineup here. SVG rushing forward with that Inkswell from MSS. Death, he's eating another Phantom. I don't think he's going to be long for this world. He's sitting in the Firefly. A few more hits, that's what they need. And the Rend damage, actually, from MSS secures the kill on Death here in this bottom lane. I was just going to praise Death because he managed to actually get 2 bounty runes in this bottom lane. But unfortunately, when it costs you your life for the Tidehunter, I honestly don't think it's worth it.
Well, the bounty runes at this point... Wait, how much does it do per 5 minutes?
Oh god, I can't remember the bounty rune math. I used to know it.
I mean, 2 bounty runes is, I still think, definitely worth it for a Tidehunter. I mean, the Tidehunter is, of course, pretty important, but it's not as... You want the Death Prophet and the Ursa to get the gold, and even if he has to sacrifice his life to give the gold to them, I definitely think that it is worth it. I think bounty runes are almost always worth it, because it's not only you picking up the bounty rune, it's your enemy not picking them up, which is... It feels like it's not you just getting 400 for, let's say, 100 gold per player. It's them not getting that 100 gold per player.
Resolution, by the way, has his Manta style completed. He's managing to keep up with his own Medusa. I mean, when you're the side of Forward Gaming and you're 2 cores where you only need 1 to be doing this well, you've got to feel fairly happy.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at this. They've smoked up on the side of Forward Gaming. They've got down a deep ward. They see the entire side of Complexity. Do they want to fight this? There's the Soulbind as well as the double silence. Miracle, he's not going to be able to go with his ultimate. They do drop the Serpent Wards, but they kill that Ursa Bear. He's going to go down. Limp uses Exorcism. They actually buy back on Miracle. But Death, he hasn't used his Ravage. He was going to use it before he died, but they managed to kill him as well with that silence. And now Limp, he's by himself. He doesn't have any backup. Monkeys forever. This Medusa, they've actually farmed his Serpent Wards. So a catastrophic fight for the side of Complexity, losing that Ursa, wasting Exorcism, not getting out that Ravage.
Yeah, and you saw exactly what Complexity was trying to do there. They wanted to clear out the area of all wards and then go into the Roche Pit with the Exorcism, with Ursa's Fury swipes to take out an easy Roche, but the Radiant were already aware of the fact that the Dire were grouping up and smacked them right in the face before they could even enter the Roche Pit.
I mean, in that fight, they didn't even have to commit Lasso or Omni Slash. I think that just shows how far ahead Forward Gaming are.
The silence on the Tidehunter with the Soulbind absolutely destroyed the Dire's chance to even win the team fight, because they need the Ravage, they need the counter initiation to be so that the Dusa, the Death Prophet, can run into the team fight and actually use his Exorcism, because he could not get anywhere close because he got zoned out. If he was able to walk into that team fight with the Exorcism, that might have changed up the fight a little bit, but that's Soulbind silence from Grimstroke is such an annoying spell to face up against.
Worth pointing out that Limp, you said he was having trouble getting into fights, and with that Blink Tiger, maybe that won't be as much of a problem for him. Yules and Blink here on Limp.
Yeah, the Dire they need the triple Blink, they also need the Tidehunter Blink, so that they can all three initiate on the Radiant side, and they need to get that surprise Blink factor. They need to catch the enemy team with their pants down, because if the Dusa is aware of what's going on, pops the Stone Gaze, Omni Slash combo, the Radiant are the ones that want to initiate with their Bat Rider and just make sure that they do not get caught off guard.
Yeah, I hear you right there. So Yawar, he has his Manta Star completed as well. He's actually building the full Hurricane Pike so that he's able to disengage if he needs to. I think that's fairly heads up. Able to get away from the Ursa, kite him if he gets initiated on. And look at this, in the mid lane universe, they're trying to initiate him. That's a nice sign. Limbs pops his ultimate, Monkey's Ferrer getting the kill with that Ether Shock. But SUG, is he able to get over his ultimate? No, he's actually Yuled up, and they do manage to bring him down. So a nice two kills, and they're just going to rush into Roshan. Miracle, one of the strengths of the Ursa that we didn't talk about is that he's able to take Roshan very, very fast. So they are able to capitalize on an objective. But Resolution in the top lane is applying some very heavy split pressure.
They're not even committing this Mass Serpent Voice because they know they don't even have to. They can kill off Roche very quickly. Only Ursa alone can also already kill off Roche quickly, and then you've got the Death Prophet Exorcist nearby. Hell, if you could even throw in the Serpent Voice for good measure if you feel like it, but there was no way that the Radiant would defend this without buybacks. So they knew that this was an easy to pick up Roche, and the Aegis gets picked up for the Ursa, who is almost done with this Basher.
Over here in the mid lane, another engagement. Z-Freak just caught out by the Blink. I think that might be the reveal of Universe. Just a lasso into the rest of his team, and there's nothing you can do on that Elder Titan. You might have created the world of Dota, but you can't live through fire, apparently.
Grimstroke has just beaten the Bat Rider in net worth. Position 4, very annoying hero that if he gets a lot of items, I mean, he has a Ghost Scepter, but if he would, for instance, get an E-Blade, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, E-Blade or Hex, like I've seen Blink Etherlens Hexes on very farm Grimstrokes. You're right, Soulbind into the Hex and that kind of thing is absolutely monstrous. But I like this stop off of the pickup of Ghost Scepter. It's really heads up. It means he's not going to get burst by the Ursa, because they are mostly physical damage on the side of Complexity.
Yeah, there's none of the cores actually has magic. I mean, there's a little bit of Crypt Swarm damage, for instance, but it's literally all three of the cores are physical damage. Even the Mass Serpent Wards are physical damage. So they have almost nothing that they can throw again, except for like an Earth Splitter. For the rest, they have nothing that they really can throw up against him.
So Death, we were talking about when they needed all their Blink Daggers to come online. He does have the money for it if he wants it, as well as Ravage. I'm curious to see if Complexity make another move to reveal this Blink Ravage, as well as the Basher. We talked about Ursa's propensity to first hit Bash. Let's see if he's able to do it.
But in the meantime, look at Yawar's net worth. Even Resolution right behind him. Rezo has finished up his Diffusal Blade. He's going to go for the Blink Dagger, so he's going to get his own initiation to jump on the back lines. But this Dusa, building into the Eye of Skadi, is going to get a lot of mana, a lot of health. It's going to be really hard to kill off the Dusa, even with the changes in the talent tree.
I mean, it's worth talking about what we said before. Ursas get kited, and what helps you kite people? The slow of the Skadi, as well as his Hurricane Pike. This Ursa isn't going to be able to stay on this Medusa, and he's not going to be able to kill him.
Ah, I love the Basher. I just love Ursa. Then again, I missed the position for Ursa. They nerfed him completely after, like, it was good in 7.18 or 7.19. And I played it the entire time because it just destroyed Spectres and everything. But I really missed the fact that they just nerfed it so hard.
I hate to stop you there, but it looks like they're trying to kill MSS. But he just ink starts him away, puts the silence onto Miracle, so he's not able to chase him forward any further.
Yeah, Ghost Scepter and the Dire can't do anything unless Monkeys Forever is nearby to get his Hex or the Shackles in.
And look at this. We've talked about this again and again, but the Forward Gaming side, they are just farming the Complexity jungle. The Medusa, she's made this her home, and they just haven't done anything to try and fight her or find her.
The wards are also, I mean, the Dire wards are almost non-existent. They have one in the, completely in the left side of the map, which checks if anyone enters the jungle, but they have no idea what anyone is doing in their jungle. Look at the Radiant top lane.
Yeah, I was about to point this out. So they're smoked up behind Resolution. They're expecting people to TP back to defend this, and then they're going to initiate them with the Universe Batrider. So this is going to be really hard because you're going to TP back one by one. You have to be really, really careful with your positioning. So Titan says, nice! There's the bash that we wanted. They do get the Grimstroke link up and the double lasso. We didn't talk about this synergy, but now the Ursa, he's dead. They burn off the agent. FUG gets up split. Limp with the Exorcism. He's running forward. Is he able to kill off this Grimstroke? It doesn't quite look like it, and there's a Ravage, but it looked like it only connected on the Medusa. Do they have enough damage to kill him? There's the Omnislash onto the backlines, Monkey Forever. He does go down, and this Medusa is going to be just fine, managing to force us. Staff herself to safety. Now Miracle, he's running forward. MSS still alive. They didn't manage to kill him off. And Z-Free, he's fighting up against SVG now. He's come out of that Bruiser form, and it doesn't look like he's able to do it. The Ursa, he does get a bash. He pops off his Enrage. They do get the stomp, and it looks like Juggernaut, they will be able to kill him here on Resolution, with the last hit actually coming out from Lim.
That fight could have been so much worse for Forward Gaming if they managed to kill off the Grimstroke that was at like 20 health the entire time. He was on the left side, dodging everything. No one was paying attention at all to the Grimstroke, and he just kept on sending out his Phantom's Embraces, Inkswells, Stroke of Fates, slowing down the Dire team, hitting them slightly, and getting the, for instance, there was a bash on the Juggernaut, but he was, while he was Blade Furying, but then the Inkswell stunned up the Ursa, and if he, for instance, dies faster, then they have more time to jump and chase after more of the Radiant heroes.
I mean, we did just see the team fight of Complexity finally online, what it is meant to look like. And honestly, it was quite impressive. They got very close to killing a bunch of heroes. And with their next few items, they honestly might be able to do it. But we did see how that Medusa was able to just totally disengage from that Ursa.
Yeah, the Dusa Hurricane Pike is, he has just finished up his Skadi, so he's going to be able to kite around that Ursa very easily now.
And look at this, Monkeys Forever. You're not long for this world. Does put the Hex onto this Juggernaut. But look, they've actually just left him and they're looking for more. And they have found more. They found Limp. They know he doesn't have Exorcism. And now the slow as well as the Phantom's Embrace. He does have the Yule Scepter that will buy him a fair bit of time. But look at this, already using the Inkswell. And that's a nice, easy 2 kills for the side of Forward Gaming.
And he had an Aeon Disc that just came out of off of cooldown, which he could not use to get rid of that lasso right there. No buyback even.
And knowing there's no Ravage, knowing there's no Exorcism, this is Forward Gaming. They're pushing their timing. There's nothing Complexity can do. And Death, what a mistake. He's going forward. He's getting all his mana burnt off. Inkswell forward even more. He has the Phantom's Embrace. But that's just an easy kill. He thought he was a tanky Tidehunter. But it turns out you're just fish food.
Buybacks on the Dire side. Ravage on the entire Radiant lineup. They get the control. There's already a kill onto Resolution. The Soulbind lands onto the Dire side. Zfreak, he's trying to chase after MSS, but MSS is such a nuisance to deal with.
Look at that, you are. He was just able to pop his ultimate and TP out. SVG, I think he might die once his Brew Split expires. It depends if he's able to get the blink right. No, he doesn't even have a blink after he respawns. So they do manage to kill off SVG. So they did force out a few buybacks for the side of Complexity. Actually, only one onto Death. And a nice base defense. They don't even lose their tier 3 tower. But they are slipping further behind in the net worth.
It did cost them 2 buybacks on Limp and on Death. So 2 cores.
Limp brought back as well. Didn't show in the fight recap, but that is a costly one on the Death Prophet.
DP is building into the Lotus Orb, which is definitely going to help his team out against the Lassos, against the Grimsoak Soulbind Inkswell combos. I really like the Lotus Orb pickup here. But yeah, the problem that the Dire team have, which is, in my eyes, the biggest problem that they're going to have the rest of the game, is the fact that they have a very good team fight, but it is all reliant on 2 very big cooldowns. The Exorcism on 145 seconds and the Ravage on 150 seconds. Without those 2 spells, they cannot fight against the Radiant team.
I don't know if you noticed what was happening here in this mid lane, but a clutch blink by Miracle, otherwise he was absolutely dead meat. Didn't manage to get the right click to cancel his blink, and he was able to blink himself to the high ground. Look at that. He tried to get the Manta dodge off here on Ur, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it. And Death just denying this mid tower. But look at this. As we said before, they know Ravage is on cooldown. They know Exorcism is off cooldown. So they're just applying some pressure. They're taking some shrines. And look at this. Roshan has just respawned. This is what you want to be denying from the Ursa.
And Monkeys Forever is trying to play the Nature's Prophet game by trying to get some split push in the bottom lane, possibly drop his Mass Serpent wards if the Radiant was not paying attention. MSS, fortunately for the Radiant, is aware and TP's back to base to try and defend it. Though he should be careful because Monkeys Forever has a Blink Dagger finished up right now in his base. And with MSS not at the Roche pit, the Dire could go for an engagement, and they probably will win that engagement if they have the initiation. I mean, 3 Blink Daggers on the Dire side.
So big item coming out here on this Ursa. He has the Abyssal Blade. No longer needs to rely on that RNG. He'll be able to secure his bash. So if they do get on someone like this Juggernaut, I think they definitely can blow him up now. And
Zfreak also, a heads up item pickup. He's going to go for the Heaven's Halberd. He's very close actually to the item, which will completely screw over the Medusa in a team fight unless she pops her BKB before he tries to get the halberd off.
So they smoked up into the Roche pit, but I feel like the side of 4 Gaming, they're gonna know about this. They do have the sticky napalm as well as the Medusa Man-style illusions. And look at this, they've just found the Shadow Shaman. That's gonna be an easy kill, and now I wouldn't be surprised if they go into the Roche pit. They have got the Diffusal Blade onto Miracle. He's not able to blink away because he took that Firefly damage. And Limp actually pops the ultimate. Are they able to save their Ursa Bear death? He's sitting on this high ground. He has his Blink Ravage if he wants to use it. But it looks like they're actually just allowing that Ursa to die. His Enrage is wearing off, and that's a nice, easy 2 kills for the side of 4 Gaming. They can take Roshan if they want to do it.
No buyback available for the Ursa. They have used the buybacks on the Death Prophet and the Tidehunter, and Ursa did not save up for a buyback. That is probably a very costly mistake at the moment, because that's going to mean the Roche is at least going to die, and they might even lose a couple of buildings in their base. Especially with Limp not having his Exorcism ready. They did keep their Ravage for the next possible team fight though, but Limp not having his Exorcism is going to be very costly, because he's not going to be able to do anywhere near the same amount of damage he normally would be able to.
So they've secured the Aegis on their Medusa. Yuard will now be able to play that frontline turret position of the Medusa. You don't even need to move. You have a Skadi, you just sit there and you right click things, and they have to kill you twice through. You don't have your 1000+ mana talent, but he's looking at it pretty damn soon, to be honest.
Yeah, this
I mean, I don't see a glimmer of hope on the dire side. The Deuce is getting too fat.
Dire's top tower is under
Look at this, a nice lasso there. Look at that, he actually broke the Grimstroke tether. He broke the soulbound, he had it onto death, but he got the lasso, so we didn't actually see the double lasso like we saw previously in the top lane. But over here, Miracle, he tries to kill off Resolution. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the damage. Even with the Elder Titan Earth Spirit, it's not going to do anything. And look at all the sustain they have, thanks to Healing Ward. They actually haven't even taken the melee barracks mid, but they want the top one instead. Whatever their preference is, there's nothing Complexity can do about it.
By the way, check what Grimstroke has for items.
Oh, the F Blade, you talked about it, just another Ursa kiting tool.
Yeah, the Ursa has no... I mean, he does have an enrage to get off out of it, but he needs a BKB at this point, because you don't want to use your enrage just to get rid of the debuff.
Dire's middle barracks.
And I mean, even if you don't want to use it on the Ursa, you can just use it on whatever hero he's going on, and that's just an instant save.
This 2 sets of racks gone, bottom set. Yeah, Yawar still has the Aegis. There's nothing that really scares the Radiant at this point.
Okay, so Limpy's blinked in with the Exorcism, but let's be honest, the Ravage on the backlines, it really doesn't do much versus Resolution while he's spinning. Death, it looks like they will kill the Medusa at least once, but do they really care? The Omni Stash, it's onto both of them, as well as the Soulbind. They do manage to pop the Aeon Disc here on Limp, but the Bash, they do kill off this Bat Rider, and now Medusa. Now he's respawned, he's using his ultimate. Are they able to kill the Tide? They are, with that Ren from MSS. Yuar was slept up by the Elder Titan, but Limp has the Exorcism. They're holding Yuar. He's caught inside the last of these wards. They do finish the Shadow Shot him, but Limp, he is getting very low. MSS, is he able to kill him with Resolution going forward? But those Ghosts returning, he's going to be just fine. A Miracle, they do kill off this Grimstroke. Now it's 2 on 3. Resolution, he spins away. Medusa pops her Mantisar. Z-Freak, he's just not able to survive through this at all. And now Miracle, using his ultimate, has that enrage. But Yawar just doing so much. He is so tanky. Resolution blinking forward onto this Ursa. He doesn't have anything. Gets off a Lucky Bash, but he's dead. Buys back almost instantaneously. They do get the sleep of the Elder Titan onto Medusa, so he's not able to hit these barracks. And with that, is that enough? Are they going to back off? I think finally with the buyback, Monkeys Forever does get a Hex. Will they get their kill on Medusa? It doesn't quite look like it, because MSS is back in this fight. And now Inkswell forward. Is that going to be a double stun? Yes, it is, onto both the Ursa and Monkeys Forever. Has the Lotus Orb on him, but it's not going to be quite enough. He's holding Medusa in position again, but MSS, he knows his Medusa when he comes back is just going to kill this pesky Shadow Shaman. Limp slowed up Resolution. He's right there. Limp doesn't actually even have the mana for Yule set time. I was about to say he could buy some time with it, but no buyback on him. No buyback on anybody. Miracle, they get the Soulbound. They get double silence. Resolution has the Inkswell, so he's going to get a stun. That's another kill, and the X-Blade actually allows him to get the kill, and that's just going to be a team wipe and probably GG.
Honestly, my MVP award goes to MSS on the Grimstroke. He's been overpowering the Dire team the entire game, and the E-Blade pickup, he even snatched that kill, the bastard, in the end.
I mean, that's what you're meant to do as a 4 position. As you know, when we play together, the role of a 4 position is to steal all the kills and all the farm.
Yeah, except don't do that from me.
Yeah, I would never even dream of it.
Ah.
So do we know if there's official coverage of NA happening yet? Because they
I have
might
no
be
idea.
down to 2 games by now.